In the 13 years since Tartan High School's last conference championship, an in-district rival has risen in their place. Humble and hungry, this year's Titans hope to soon return to the successes of old and reclaim their title amid a new class of opponent. Tonight, a soldier from the south stands in their way, trying to reach a promised land of their own. It's the Titans and the Spartans live on Suburban Community Channel's TV 19. Alex Westhead with you here from Tartan High School in Oakdale, Minnesota, where two teams go head-to-head, as so frequently they do across the Metro East landscape. The Tartan Titans and the Simley Spartans entering with a combined record of 0-3. Tartan with losses in their first two, Simley having played just one contest. Both teams yet to win a set so far this season, so somebody's O has got to go tonight. And the big storyline, of course, as we talk about different classes in volleyball in the state of Minnesota, a fourth class having been added to, so now 1, 2, 3, and 4A classes. The Tartan Titans were in 3A in 2020, now a member of Class 4A. The Titans at home, 3-2 record a season ago in a COVID-19 shortened 2020 campaign. And both teams, surprisingly enough, perfect records against opponents with a 500 and below record in the 2020 campaign. However, it was the opponents with a winning record that both teams struggled against last season. As we're winding down the final moments of the warm-ups here in Titan High School, we'll take a look at some of our players to watch for the evening, and there are many. There's senior number 4, Emma Munter, the daughter of athletics director here in Oakdale, Brian Munter, a volleyball player, middle blocker for the Titans, suiting up in the Air Force blue and silver this evening. On the other side, for the Simley Spartans, players to watch certainly abound for the Metro East Rivals out of Invergrove Heights, Minnesota. And we'll certainly be keeping an eye on the Spartans as well under Mark Kashke in his 16th season as head coach of the Simley Spartans. Again, if you're new to volleyball and if you're new to conferences across the Metro East and across the Twin Cities landscape, the Metro East comprising of Hastings, Two Rivers, Hale Murray, Matamidi, North St. Paul, St. Thomas Academy, Simley, and South St. Paul. As the horn sounds and the music falls silent here at the Tartan High School Gymnasium, a nice crowd on hand in the student section. Certainly love to see that. We've mentioned it in every broadcast so far. We have missed the student sections from a year ago, and we're certainly glad to see it back. There's our senior to watch for the Simley Spartans. Chomp down, so 6'0", right side hitter for the Simley Spartans. Wonderful power on her shot as we saw in the warm-up. We'll watch for her on those final hits as the Spartans look to win their first set this season. The final huddles and the officials getting ready to go into their position, and then the anthem soon to follow. 158 games tonight across the Twin Cities of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and beyond. We are glad, SEC fans, that you have chosen this one. Again, there you see Coach Kashke for the Simley Spartans. We also want to say hello to our friends watching on Town Square Television in the South Metro with Sports Director Toby Stanga, and of course hello to Master Control Operator there, Trevor Blom, Joe Conlon, and Mike Davison. There's Coach Kashke, 16th season. And we'll have the starting lineups right here for both of these teams. Head-to-head between the Simley Spartans and the Tartan Titans. Simley winners the last time out, November 17th of 2020, a 3-1 set victory for Simley against Tartan. Again, these two teams play each other twice a year in most sports. Last year just once, again thanks to the COVID-19 shortened year. And the head-to-head in the last 10 matchups between these two is split 5 decisions apiece. And you can see there too, neither team has been shut out in sets in the last 10, dating back to 2013. In fact, of the matchups a year ago, one of them went to the full 5 sets. So we'll see what happens here this evening. Last time out, if we look at the standings in 2020, Tartan 4th in Metro East with a 6-5 overall record a year ago. The Metro East played exclusively within the conference last year. The Simley Spartans, however, 9-3 overall. And again, that was the difference to that record against teams over 500, where both teams were perfect against sub-500 teams in conference, those being Hastings, Matamidi, and South St. Paul. Simley fared much better against winning competition, and that's what got them second behind the North St. Paul Polars in the Metro East Conference. As the Titans introduced here, getting ready to start the first set. Key graduates from both teams as well in each year, in each sport, the losses from one senior class to another always has an impact. For Tartan, Maggie Head, Faith Lobo, and Cambria Whalen, the key losses from the Tartan Titans a year ago. On the other side, for the Simley Spartans, Bryn Rogers, Molly Stein, and Abby Hepper. The notable losses for these Simley Spartans as both teams look to improve their standing and look to improve their fate moving into, again, new classes. As the Tartan Titans, again, as you saw in our first graphic, moved up to Class 4. Simley, however, stayed at Class 3A, so both teams will not have the opportunity to play each other for postseason rights. They're always a good chance to have a matchup against some top competition. And if you're watching on youtube.com/Suburban Community Channels tonight, feel free to chime in, say hello, let us know where you're watching from, let us know who you are supporting. Of course, that comment section is live and is certainly available for you to feel free to chime in as the evening goes on. And the final lineup announced for the Tartan Titans. And again, the Titans you can see in their home black, libero in white. The other side for the Simley Spartans also in black, with the libero also in white. So maybe a little bit more tricky to see on your screen this evening. However, the Titans, as you can see, they're trimmed in blue, and Simley just in black and white. We'll step aside for the playing of the national anthem, very loudly, we might add. This is your home for Titan Volleyball. Completed here at Tartan High School. All set for Spartans and the Titans, ready to do battle here on a Thursday night. Wonderful weather outside. We are glad that you've chosen to join us inside for a little bit. The gym at Tartan High School in Oakdale. Again, the 51st year of existence in the Beltway of the East Metro here, as Tartan High School opened its doors to students in 1961. The same year, actually, that the Simley Spartans opened up as well. If we have time, we'll talk about the history of Simley High School. We know we have a lot of Spartan fans watching as well. There's head coach Alyssa Weiss in her 6th season as head coach of the Tartan Titans at 500 coming into the season. The 2 losses to start the year for Tartan has shifted her record under 500, but of course lots of time certainly, and the Titans will look to get above that as the season goes on. It's Dig Pink Night, I believe here. A couple of pink shirts as the leaders for both teams, Munter for Tartan and Donso for the Simley Spartans, reading off a sportsmanship statement.
Please show respect to each other and the fans for both teams. Let's all leave the game tonight knowing that we acted with class.
Please stay off the playing area at all times and show respect for our school and staff. We love having you here and can't wait to get started. Thanks again.
And a show of sportsmanship and setting the expectation for fans in attendance. Certainly love to see that cooperation between both teams. And sportsmanship, exactly what we look for. We'll set this floor first for the homestanding Tartan Titans. Again, Air Force blue and silver and black uniforms, the libero in white, trimmed in blue with a white trim around the numbers. Setting the floor, Seidenberg out, as well as Munter, assisted by junior varsity player Samara Jones, who will, I believe, be the Libero sub Bennis out there as well. Carver and Larson the floor for the Tartan Titans on the other side. For the Simley Spartans, Romslow. Assisted by Tacito, Epps, and then some more players in the back line. Renslow, Studer, and all the way on the near side is Lucio. The substitution to start for the Liberos, Renslow coming in for number 15, a junior varsity player, Gwyn Gorder, as a libero for the Simley Spartans. Now we'll await the substitution on the other side for the Tartan Titans, and no, there will not be one to start. So it'll be the 6 on the court, to start. Service to be delivered by the Tartan we'll try one more time. The Tartan Titans, the alliterative name for this high school. Jane Larson to serve, and we are underway here in Oakdale. On the return, that'll be an ace to start things off. And Tartan takes an early 1-0 lead on the serve. And the ace delivered by the sophomore setter, Jaden Larson. So 1 serving 0 here, set number 1. On service into the net, that'll be an attack error for the Tartan Titans, their first of the game. That'll even up the first set here at a point apiece. Going back to serve for the Simley Spartans, it'll be number 8, Lauren Tacito, the senior 5'7" setter. Into the lineup, the right-handed serve is high. It is dug out nicely by the Titans. On the third hit, going for Ray Carver, slightly over, well saved by the Simley Spartans. Back on the third hit the other way, Studer, Munter. Set here again, looking for some power there on the left side. Nice dig by Donso. Looking back again to the left-hand side for Epps, and in, and the Simley Spartans take the 1-0 lead on the kill by number 9, Adriana Epps. Again, nice power from the left side pin. That'll allow the rally to continue here for the Simley Spartans as they lead 2-1. Again, first to 25, must win by 2 in each set. The last set, 2-15. Munter on the dig, trying to save it. A nice diving effort made by number 22, Haley Brager, defensively for the Titans. It goes off of her hand in play, and the rally continues for the Simley Spartans. So Lauren Tacito to serve again, a 3-point rally here for the Spartans. Dug by Carver. On the third hit, Carver sends it over again. Nice dig back, respectively, for Gorder. Third hit, Epps. Near side. Looking for the near side pin, then back over to the far side. Gorder. Left side swing, Munter on the dig. High into the air on the left side. Nice block of the line. Beneso able to get back there, keep it alive. Bennis again, off the hand. Beautiful kill by the sophomore Abby Bennis. It's a 3-2 game here in set number 1. Wonderful kill by the Tartan Titans, their first of the game. And Bennis will have the service responsibility. 2 serving 3. Bennis across, dug by Epps. Looking to set the third hit, sent across by Studer. Munter on the dig back the other side for Tartan. Left side from Carver, dug by Epps again on the other side. Set, looking for Donso. Whistle blows, point in favor on a double hit called on Donso. And so the set will be all tied up at 3. Again, the officials here, as most of the fans in attendance by 622 rules masked up. The officials doing the same. On the service error that time by Bennis, just a little bit too far out of reach. So the Spartans will retake the lead for serving 3. A substitution here for Simley as Epps will take a seat, replaced by Joanna Jimenez, or Jimenez I should say, the senior 5'4" outside hitter. Jimenez on the serve. Off the hands of Munter, and another ace set there by the Simley Spartans. That's their second here of set number 1. A nice serve by Jimenez, and Munter unable to get the dig on. 5 serving 3. In service, Munter. Looking back to the left side again. Seinberg, great dig by Jimenez, back the other way for Simley. On the third hit, Carver blocked at the line and down. Point goes away. The Titans, I think a combined block can be credited to Brager and Carver on the near side pin. So 5 serving 4 now. And going back to serve Haley Brager, the sophomore middle blocker. The 5'10" middle blocker in service, 4 serving 5. Brager into the net, and another error on the attack by the Tartan Titans. And that'll give another point to the Simley Spartans. Now serving for Simley, Naomi Romslow, 5'11" junior, the middle hitter. 6 serving 4. Miscommunication there on a chance there. Held up just long enough for a chance on the third hit. It'll go over. Jimenez looking back for Dunso. Great block of the line there. And down by Seidenberg with a beautiful block. That turns into a point for the Tartan Titans. Substitution for the Tartan Titans as Larson will go out. Coming in her place is Tessa Wilkie, the senior. There was another substitution as well on the other side. As coming out of the game, Naomi Romslow unfortunately did not see the number coming back, and we'll get that as we go. Studer sent across, dug back the other way here. Looking back, beautiful chance. Seidenberg finds a seam and down, and we're tied at 6 apiece. Nice kill there by Seidenberg. The student section knew it was coming already and have found that seam perfectly on that far side line. Even it up at 6. Simley has led by as many as 3 here in set number 1. Titans have led by just 1 in service now. Across dug by Studer. Looking back again. Studer too far on that hit, and the Titans retake the lead in this first set. A nice serve started that play by Sydney Ebach, the senior libero. She's come back on again. 7 serving 6 now. First set. First at 25, of course. In service off the net and out of play. So an attack error, a service error rather, by the Titans rather. Tie the game up at 7 apiece. Here's Champ Danso. Danso in service. Hanging up there for Ebach. Looking for the set. 2 hands over the top. Set. Back across. Nice play by Ebach off the net. Unable to save it as it fell in a tough spot for Tessa Wilkie to do much with that. So a point for the Spartans. And so Danso to serve again. 8 serving 7 here, set number 1. Danso from the right side. Ebach looking back to feed Seidenberg on the left side. Powerful down. Jimenez can't do a thing about that. And we're all tied at 8 again. Seidenberg with another kill for the Titans, their 3rd. And a beautiful play. Substitution for Simley. Champ Danso comes out. Alyssa Lucio coming back in. So Seidenberg will go back to serve for the Titans. Seidenberg across. Too far on that shot. And the service error by the Titans will give another point back the other way. Substitution. Jimenez out. Epps back in for the Spartans. Studer to serve. Isabella Studer, 5'8" senior. On the service, the ace. Delivered as, again, if there's one thing where the Spartans have succeeded well so far here tonight on their 4th ace of this opening set. They've done a great job of forcing the Titans to be able to have to combine into where the serves have gone, and that's not lended itself well for Titans being able to respond. And there's another example of that as a service right at Haley Brager. Tough to handle, certainly. So the rally continues here for the Simley Spartans. Their largest rally so far, 3. 11 serving 8. Into the net, and that's a break that the Titans will take, as that'll give them another point, bring set number 1 to within 2 at 11-9. Back to serve for the Titans, the senior number 4, Emma Munter. Munter waiting for the whistle and across. Dug briefly there by Lucio, looking for the 3rd hit. Epps unable to get a handle on it, and she sent it over there. Tried to extend the hand just a little bit more to force that ball over. So the point goes the way of the Titans. It's a 1-point contest here in set number 1. Cross. Looking back again, battled down at the line. Seidenberg looking back left side for Bennis. Nice dig back the other way. That time by a quarter. Epps off of a outstretched arm there of Abby Bennis. Off of her hands, out of bounds. And another point for the Simley Spartans as they now lead again by a score of 12-10. Back to serve for the Simley Spartans is number 15, Gwen Gorder. In service, dug by Seidenberg. Looking on the 3rd hit again for Ben. And dug there, back on the near side. Epps, beautiful block at the line. What a play by Tessa Wilkie. Student section likes it. Another block for the Titans. They pull it to within 1 again. Substitutions once more as Jaden Larson comes back in, replacing Tessa Wilkie. And Larson back to serve as the rotation complete on its first go around. 11 serving 12. Here in set number 1, Larson with a right hand. Dug back the other way, Gorder. Set there, Epps. Nice dig on the response by Larson. Munter looking back again. Siedenberg too strong, out of bounds. And another attack error for the Tartan Titans. A little bit too strong on the return from Munter. Substitution again now for the Simley Spartans as Donso will come in, replacing Lucio. In service across. Munter looking back there again. Carver on a cross there from Siedenberg. Dug back the other way, Gorder. Looking back, beautiful shot. Wow, power from Naomi Ramslow with the kill for the Spartans. And they take now a 14-11 lead here in set number 1. Great power at the line. Normally you see that on both sides of the pin, but right in the middle of the court. 14 serving 11. Carver off of the net here. An illegal hit there. And it's going back to play it again. Now the rally will continue here as the Spartans extend their lead to the largest of this first set at 4. On service across. Munter on the third hit. Dug out there. Back once again here looking for Tucito. Back across, blocked to the line. Epps whistle blows. I wondered if something had happened, and sure enough it did. And the point for the Spartans as they ruled as though one of the Titan players at the net had reached over and touched the net. And so the rally will continue. Spartans now leading by 5, 16-11, set number 1. Sent across. Munter. Larson. Carver. Dug back on the other end there by Studer. Over the top of the net there again and sent down. Nice power, good awareness there by Adriana Epps, and Naomi Ramslow at the line will have a whistle. And a timeout taken by the Tartan Titans as they trail here in set number 1 by a score of 17-11. Good back and forth in the early stages of that first set before the Simley Spartans running away with it a little bit there in that last rally. Again for Simley, after Tartan had gotten it down to 12-11, 5 points in a row for the Simley Spartans. Rally of 5, the largest of the game so far for either team. Again, the last meeting between these two on November the 17th of 2020, Simley won 3-1 over the Tartan Titans. Again, you see they're very competitive sets as three of the 4 sets, had been decided by a total of 5 points or fewer. So we seem to be headed that way certainly again tonight. Here's the last service. Again, you see the return there by Munter. Larson with a nice set, and then across there for Carver. But that beautiful dig back on the other side by Tucito allowed that play to continue. So timeout taken. And Tucito in service. Munter. Larson looking back again. Right pin for Carver. Tried to bat it out of the air with a closed fist, but unable to do so before the ball hit the net. And a point again as the rally continues here for Simley. Right positioning for Carver, but the ball just did not do what she wanted it to do. So the rally continues. Munter on the dig. Larson looking back, middle of the field there for Siedenberg. Off of the outstretched arms of Studer, and a rally stop and kill for the Titans as they finally get back on the point board, stopping this Simley rally. 12 serving 18 here in the first set. In service, Abby Bennis. Bennis across. Epps looking back to Cito again, near side. Nice kill there. And a great strong throw by Naomi Ramslow for another kill for the Simley Spartans. I suppose throw probably isn't the right word to use there, but let's say it works. Substitution again for Simley. Jimenez back in for Epps as we saw that substitution earlier on the first time around the rotation for the Spartans. So Jimenez will come back in, the 5'4" senior. Jimenez in service. Dug on the near side, looking again for Brager. Off the outstretched arms of the libero Gorder. Beautiful kill by Haley Brager. And a nice play allows that to continue. 5 kills now in the opening set for the Tartan Titans. 13 serving 19. As Tartan's libero Ebach will come out. Brager across. Dug by Jimenez. Looking back again, middle of the field. Ramslow found the seam on the back line. Beautiful shot, well aimed by number 3, Naomi Ramslow. And the possession goes back in favor of Simley, 20, excuse me, now serving 14. As a 5'11 junior, Romslow looking for the ball. And Simley 5 points away from victory here in set number 1. Brager, Larson looking for the third hit. Brager again sends it not strong enough as she tried to get that set over the top of the net as it fell down just in front of her. Brager will sub out, coming back in Morn Matheny into the game for the Tartan Titans. And Romslow again to serve. Across and right off of the hands of Carver. Has played that just ever so slightly, and then Jaden Larson could not save it further. So another timeout is taken as the Spartans have extended the lead to 9 points here in set number 1, 22-13, and both teams have expired and used their timeouts. Again, the Titans got it as close to as 12-11. They switched leads a couple of times before hitting double digits for either point leader before the Spartans went on a 6-point rally to really take away this first set. And again, Simley appearing to take the control here in set number 1. There's again that last play. Again, that powerful shot just off the outstretched arm of the libero Gorder. That time back in. Naomi Romslow to serve, as we'll have 22 serving 13. Again, a nice crowd here at Tartan High School. Romslow across. Menace looking left side. Siedenberg finds a hole. And just as Simley was doing so well of finding those seams in between two players, a nice job there by response for Siedenberg to get the kill, the 6th of the opening set here for Tartan, as 14 will now serve 22. Substitution on the other side as Gorder comes back in, replacing Romslow. Across, Jimenez, Gorder looking into the middle, sent across on the third hit there by Studer, and the flag official there, as they say, point for the Titans. There appeared to be some confusion on the Simley side as to why that point did not go for them, but service nevertheless. 15 serving 22. Sent back over. Nice play by Munter. Good positioning there by the senior Emma Munter, being able to send that ball down. And that'll be another kill for the Titans, as we'll have 16 serving 22, and service again, Sydney Ebach for the Tartan Titans. Ebach across, dug by Studer. On the third hit, sent across. Beautiful block by Munter at the line. That finds a hole. And another point and a nice rally here for the Titans. Rally of 3, their largest of this first set. And that's sparked by the wonderful block by Emma Munter. So timeout taken here as a 3-point rally by the Tartans. They have their largest rally of the night and have cut the Simley lead here in set number 1 to just 5. And we mentioned 156 contests across the state, as we'll look once more at the service here. Back on the other way, and wonderfully timed block by Emma Munter. And you see how far forward all 6 of the players on the court for the Simley Spartans were, and that really allowed Munter to just get enough contact on the ball to send it past everybody, as everybody inside of that restraining line was able to find the seam. They get the point on the board for the Titans. 17 serving 22, a 3-point rally now for Tartan. And Sydney Ebach will continue serving, the senior defensive setter and libero for the Simley, against Simley. Ebach in service, 17 serving 22. Across, off of the hand, and an ace delivered by Ebach as it went right off the hand of Isabella Studer. And so after trailing in this set by as many as 9, another strong rally here by the Titans, as a 4-point rally has brought them to within 4. Ebach across. Dug again. Tocito. Donso recovered back the other way by Titans. On the third hit, Siedenberg into the net, and an attack error by the Tartan Titans, their 4th of this first set. And not, again, much you could do about that one, unfortunately. That third hit just wasn't well positioned, or couldn't have been well positioned based on where the player was on the court. As Donso sent it across, Siedenberg, dug by Donso. Once again, forced over. And then back once more here by the Titans. Siedenberg at the line. Blocked first initially by the Simley Spartans, but it fell at the Spartans' feet, and another point for the Titans. 19 serving 23. Donso out, and Lucio back in. We'll have another substitution here if they can get it for the Titans, or at least they appeared to, as Brager was ready to go back into the game. Now a conversation between the official here on the near side and head coach Alyssa Wise. 19 serving 23. Siedenberg. Dug on the opposite end there by Gorder. On the third hit, sent across to Cito. Nice play by Siedenberg. On the third hit, and in the corner. Beautiful play by Abby Bennis on the kill for the Titans. And it's all of a sudden a 3-point set number 1. Siedenberg back in service. Tartan students making some noise. Siedenberg across. Dug there, all the way back. Strong return by the Spartans. Munter on the third hit, tipped over. Great dig. Opposite side there by Studer. Has it at the line. Another block by Emma Munter. A 2-point set number 1. We'll take another timeout as again the Simley Spartans led this first set by as many as 9. And the Titans have cut that lead to just 2 here in the late stages of set number 1. And again, it's been really what's caused both of those plays are timely blocks to the line here by Emma Munter. Here's the last point. Again, you can see that across. Munter just trying to tip it back over the net. The Spartans were ready for it, but they were not ready for that. The well-timed block of the senior Emma Munter. Out of the timeout. It'll be 21 serving 23. Siedenberg on a nice 3-point rally here so far for the Tartan Titans. And again, these students loving the return to live sports and the return to supporting their classmates in athletic competition. Timeout completed. Siedenberg to serve. As the Spartans return, JV players for both teams still in attendance here. Everybody out of timeouts as of this point. Siedenberg, the outside hitter, sophomore. In service, 21 serving 23. Dug on the far side there. Jimenez. And there, Renslow. On the set, Munter unable to get to it, and it'll be set point here for the Spartans, as that'll be point number 24, substitution, as Epps will come back in, replacing Jimenez. And going back to serve, Isabella Studer, one of the captains for this Simley Spartan roster. On the service, third hit looking there. Siedenberg sent back across. Dug nicely there by Gorder. Blocked to the line again. A combined block by the Titans. Epps blocked again. Play still alive. Gorder with a beautiful play to save it. High into the rafters. Blocked to the line again. Munter with the block. Assisted on the left-hand side as well by Bennis. And these timely blocks coming in perfectly to help the Titans stay alive. Another substitution. Brager in, replacing Matheny. And Munter to serve. 22 serving 24. First to 25, must win by 2. Munter across. Dug by Gorder. Hits the top of the rafters and down. Lucky break. And knowing your gymnasium well there certainly helps there, as that'll be an ace on the board for Munter. Third of the first set here for the Titans. It's all of a sudden a 1-point game. 23 serving 24. But back on the other side, Epps. Looking left side, Renslow. Back across. On the third hit. Looking for power off the block and down, and we're tied at 24. Nice power from the far side, pinned by Bennis, blocked at the line. Combined by Renslow and assisted as well by Tecito, and all tied at 24. Epps looking across and off the hand there of Sydney Ebach. So a point for the Spartans. This will be set point number 4 now for the Simley Spartans, as they lead 25-24 here in set number 1. Back in service, Gwynn Gorder, 6'3" sophomore. Patience in service. Dug nicely there. Siedenberg looking again. Oh, wow, what a play. Beautiful save. Third hit there. And the rally continues. Looking back. Third hit sent across back the other way by Ebach. Tecito. power. Blocked. Ooh, just barely on the outside part of that line. A well-timed block by Abby Bennis, but unfortunately for the Titans, out of bounds. And the Simley Spartans will take set number 1 by a score of 26-24. The Spartans led that set by as many as 9. Titans were able to tie it back up in the late moments, but those last 2 set points good enough for the Spartans to take that 1-0 lead in set number 1. After 1 set of play, Simley leads 1-0 here on your home for Tartan Titan Volleyball.
This is the sound of confidence soaring.
Our mission is to educate, inspire, and honor.
This is the sound of honor roaring.
We should never, never forget those that gave their lives.
This is the sound of a generation rising above.
337 for Bravo Fox Papa.
We want to be involved in the education of young people so that they can take our aircraft and the stories that our pilots tell and realize their own dreams.
The Commemorative Air Force honors the heroes of yesterday while educating and inspiring the heroes of tomorrow.
Your future and how you live your life is dependent on how you think.
You can learn more at commemorativeairforce.org right now.
My biggest fear in the middle of my addiction was that I would never be able to get over it and that my kids wouldn't have a father. I overdosed on heroin and I lived. And I started thinking, you know what? This isn't my story. For the longest time, fear held me back from ultimately being who I wanted to. I found the fatherhood program, and it was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. My desire to change had finally outweighed my desire to stay the same. I felt powerless for so much of my life that it's important to me that my kids are empowered and truly believe that if they can think it, they can do it. I definitely had to become a better man to be a better father. For the first time, I finally feel like I'm exactly where I should be, where I want to be.
Close, but not quite close enough for the Tartan Titans back in set number 1. As Simley took set 1 by a score of 26-24. Simley led in set number 1 by as many as 9. The Titans able to tie it up at 24 points apiece, before the last 2 went to the way of the Simley Spartans, and that was how it went. I'm Alex Westhead with you here. A very rusty at volleyball, Alex Westhead, I may admit. Here from Tartan High School on this beautiful Thursday night. Hopefully you've gotten some time to spend it outside. Perfect September day, but we're glad that you've joined us for this broadcast as well. Set number 2, about to get underway. Some stats from set number 1, and again, I'll preface it with my knowledge of volleyball terminology, not necessarily the best in the world. Certainly say that. I'm willing to be able to understand that I'm not good enough. I had 8 kills for the Tartan Titans in set number 1. Largest rally was Simley. They had a rally of 6 twice over the course of that first contest. Blocks, I had Tartan with 7, Munter leading the way with 4 for the Simley Spartans. 4 aces for the Spartans compared to the Titans 3. And again, of course, very unofficial stats all at that. Setting the floor here for the Simley Spartans as we get set here and underway for set number 2. They'll roll out their same starting lineup that they had before, as Gorder, the libero, she'll go back to serve, as well as on the floor Studer, Lucio, Epps, and then on the front line for Simley, Tacito and Romslow, the big player from set number 1. Across. Ball can be dug there nicely there by Bennis. Back Bennis, beautiful tip over to keep the play alive. Epps looking for the kill, unable to find it. Kept alive by the Titans. Left side again, Carver with the play, but unfortunately does not go their way. And so a point back the other way as the Simley Spartans start as they did at the end of set number 1, leading Across, off the net, Munter tries to save it. Assistance tried to get to there by Jaden Larson, but unfortunately unable to do so. So a point of 2-0 here in the early going. Simley their first ace here of set number 2. Munter, Bennis, looking back on the left side, sent across there by Brager. One more, third hit, Epps. As the whistle will blow, a double hit ruled for the Titans. So they'll have 1-2 here. Going back to serve in the spot in the Titan rotation, Abby Bennis. Bennis to serve. 1 serving 2 here in set number 2. And the ace is delivered by the Titans as Bennis with the service ace, all tied at 2 apiece. So Bennis to go back, 2 serving 2, setting the floor as Bennis, Munter, Larson, and then up front, Carver, Siedenberg, and Brager currently on the floor for the Titans. Sent across, and I don't think the Titans were expecting that. Well read, well played by Lauren Tecito as she finds the court, the middle of it. A lot of space in that middle there, and good awareness by Tecito to be able to see that. So 3 serving 2 as Simley regains the lead here in set number 2. Tecito across. Too strong, and the official on the near side had a hard time figuring about that and thought about leaving it in, but instead put the flag up for out of bounds. And the point goes away on the attack error and service error. Back the other way. Substitution, Brager out, and subbing in for her first round of service, Morn Matheny, the senior defensive setter, who has switched with a couple of players so far here in this one. 3 serving 3. Cross. Border on the dig. Left side, Epps. Whistle blows. Point for the Titans. As the Titans will take their first lead here in set number 1. In set number 2, excuse me. Set number 1, they did not have a lead larger than 1 at any point in time in set number 1, so we'll see how that works here. Matheny again in service. To an E goes to Tecito to save a beautiful shot, but too strong by Naomi Ramslow. And the Titans take a 2-point lead. Their largest lead of the night so far, a rally of 2 here for the Titans. 5 serving 3. Simley took first set by a total of 26-24. And the service error that time, no! The point goes away, the Titans, as it just found that seam right on that line. So the rally continues. There's now a 4-point rally for the Tartan Titans, which ties their largest of set number 1. Sent across on the dig by Renslow. On the third hit, sent across, Ramslow into the nets. And the attack error by the Simley Spartans gives the Titans another point, and the rally continues for the Air Force blue and silver. 7 serving 3. As it's a rally now of 5 for the Titans. Morgan Matheny again, as you see on your screen, the 5'5" senior defensive specialist. Across and one-handed play. We kept alive, and I think a misread in the rafters there by a combination of Epps and Tecito. Gives the Titans the lead, and another nice rally by the Titans as they now lead this first set by 5. And a nice 6-point rally is taken here by the Tartan Titans as they lead set number 2 by a score of 8-3. If you're like many of us curious as to what a Simley high school is, we did have the opportunity to do some research beforehand, and this is what we found. Simley High School was named for I.T. Simley, the retired superintendent of schools from South St. Paul who served as a consultant to Inver Grove Heights during the district's transition years. Simley's first graduating class was the class of 61, just like what happened with the Tartan Titans in their first class being 61. 19 graduates, 19 in the first senior class of the Spartans. Today, Simley High School is a comprehensive secondary school with a student population of about 1,200 in grades 9 through 12 and more than 75 teachers in that district. And of course, as teachers return to school, we're always grateful for educators and their role in these young people's lives. Rally continues for the Titans. We'll have 8 serving 3 here. Across from Matheny. Quarter on the dig. Back to the left side again. Ramslow, nice play again by Matheny to save it. Looking for the third hit, sent down, and a good read there on the seam to stop the bleeding. As it's sent down by, no, a point for the Titans as they rule a illegal hit has been ruled. against Romslow on the effort, so the rally continues again. A rally of 7 points now for the Titans, as they now lead set number 2, 9-3. Across to Cito, and back across again as a new player coming into the game here, Malia Miller. Munter back across, looking back again, trying to feed Epps as the serve returned by Matheny. Once again looking for Siedenberg, and a good reach there by Studer to keep it alive, but unfortunately for the Spartans it goes straight out of bounds. And another point for the Titans. Is now 7 points is the lead. The rally extends to 8, largest of the game for either team. Simley led in set 1 by as many as 9. The Titans have led here in set number 2 by 7. On the third hit, Renslow. Nice save there by a diving Larson, but into the net on the attack error by Bennis, and the rally will stop. Now for the Titans, we'll have a substitution as Epps will come out, Jimenez will come back in. We'll have 4 serving 10 here in set number 2. Simley leads 1-0 after taking the first set by a total of 26-24. Bennis, Larson on the third hit. Can they get it over? They do. Matheny. Jimenez on the dig back the other way. Looking for the third hit again. Romslow, beautiful play there by Matheny. Third hit for Siedenberg. Once again, save. Looking for Studer. Studer on the combined block by Munter and Carver at the line, but power meeting power. Had the ball go out of bounds on the left side, so the rally continues now for Simley, cutting this lead to 5. 5 serving 10. Jimenez back to serve the 5-3 defensive setter. Across. Dug by Matheny. Looking for the backside again, and an attack error there by Carver. I like the idea of choosing to go with the finesse as opposed to the power on that third hit, but unfortunately unable to get a clean look at it. So the rally continues now. 6 serving 10 for Simley, and what is now their largest rally of the second set. Jimenez to Cito, set for, whoa, beautiful play, and Munter with another big block after the kill attempt there by Naomi Romslow at the line was blocked by Munter. Substitution now, as Ebach will come back into the game, as will Tessa Wilkie for the Tartan Titans. And it'll be Ebach to serve, the senior defensive setter and libero in tonight's contest. Left 11 serving 6. Back across. Third hit here by Romslow. And again, Matheny. Jimenez. Back looking for Romslow. Too strong and knocked down on the ground enough, so a point for the Titans on the attack error by Simley. And the lead back to 6 now for the Titans. They've led by as many as 7 here in set number 2. 12 serving 6. Simley leading 1-0. Ebach in service. Dug there by Romslow. Back again, looking once more, and a good return there by Ebach. On the third hit, Siedenberg. Dig by Jimenez. Jimenez has it, hit the pin on the near side as it was looking for Studer. And the point for the Titans, and the rally continues for the Air Force blue and silver. Back to the largest lead again, 13 serving 6. Ebach a bit too strong on the service there, so a service error for Ebach as a rally stops for the Titans, and a point for the Spartans as they now trail again by 6. Rotation continues, as coming back into the game for Simley will be Avery Renslow. Here's Romslow in service. Matheny on the dig. Looking back here near pin. Ooh, and off the hand of the blocker, Malia Miller. At the near side pin, out of bounds, and possession back quickly to the Simley Spartans. There's one thing that I would do if I was the commissioner of the Minnesota State High School League. The Siedenberg across. Second hit here, looking again, blocked at the line by Munter. Still kept alive here, though, by the Titans. Munter is too strong on the service, and so the attack error. I would make teams wear completely different colors from each other. I know that they're on the same side and it's obvious, but the black and black thing just ain't working for me. Third hit here, Siedenberg. Dug further by Miller. Once again, Jimenez back and unable to find that back corner. And the point back for the Titans as they will lead it now here by 15-8. We'll have substitutions as Prager will come back into the game for the Titans, and re-entering the game for the Simley Spartans, Alyssa Lucio back the other way. Going back to serve, senior Emma Munter, 15 serving 8. And a dig, back again, Studer blocked at the line, team block for the Titans, their second here so far of this set. Third hit, blocked again by the Simley Spartans. Nice play at the line again, Brager. And then back across on what would be the fourth hit, so the point there on the fourth hit for the Simley Spartans, as the Titan lead now is 6. Epps back in, replacing Jimenez. Studer to serve for Simley. Studer across. On the return, set here near side. Beautiful play, but the whistle blows, and the point, and a fault called on the Simley Spartans. Fault called that time on Lauren Tecito. We'll have another substitution as Larson re-enters, as does Carver. And the libero Ebach comes out, as well as Wilkie. We'll have 16 serving 9. Titans by 7 here, set number 2. Across and too strong. Service error. That time for Jaden Larson. And possession and service going back to the Simley Spartans. Rotation continues. Back across and the service error. And another point for the Titans, as they'll lead it now 17-16. Back to serve, Abby Bennis, the sophomore, as we'll have 17 serving 10. Across and powerful shot, and the ace delivered there by Bennis, as it looked as though, I think, it wasn't quite sure what the libero Gorder was going to do with that one. And so as a result, not much that could have been done. Bennis across. Good by Gorder. Oh, and a nice attempt there by Tecito to try to force that one back over Bennis on the powerful kill for the Tartan Titans, as they lead this set by 8 now, largest lead, and a timeout called by the Simley Spartans, as that's their second. And Abby Bennis, starting a rally again, is now here in set number 2, 19-10. Lead as the Titans now lead by 9, equating the largest Simley lead of set number 1. And if you're the Tartan Titans, you certainly like what happened after you tied the game in set number 1 at 24 apiece. And it appears, though, what had happened at the end of that first set has been rallied and has been used here by the Tartan Titans to extend their lead here in set number 2. On the replay again, you saw that the play Lauren Tecito attempted to make there was very similar to a point that she had scored earlier in the set, but that time the Titans were ready for it. My fiance Allison Vogt, who in about a week will be Allison Wested, often has the habit of keeping track of some of the words that I say frequently on the broadcast, and of course SEC sports producer David Schuyler has done the same. The word again. If I had $1 for every time I said the word again on a broadcast, I'd be doing quite well for myself right now. 19 serving 10. Here's Bennis. Bennis across and found the corner in the back on the ace. And it looked as though there was a little bit of a hesitation between the libero, Gwynn Gorder, trying to decide to play the ball or to see what would happen if it found that back corner or not. She decided not to play it, and it found the corner. 10-point lead for the Titans, largest of the night for either team. Gorder looking back, third hit. Ramsdell off of her hand, and she was unable to handle that one cleanly. So another point, and the rally continues again for the Titans, as Bennis' service has been excellent. 21 serving 10. Simley won set number 1, 26-24. Tartan leads set number 2, 21-10. Across for Bennis. Studer on the dig. Back over, blocked at the line, still kept alive, and we don't know what hit it is, but the officials do. An illegal hit called against the Simley Spartans, and another point for the Titans. We'll have a substitution back the other way as a new player entering the game for Simley, as Anissa Mickelmurray making her first appearance of the contest for the Spartans. Bennis to continue the rally. 22 serving 10. Across from Bennis, Mickelmurray watches that one sail out of play. and out of bounds on the service error. So the rally stops, now 22-11. The Titans out in front. Back to serve, Lauren Tucito. Well, I believe when I did my research it was Tucito, but hey, it's a tough job. Munter across, too strong on that one. And that one will go out of bounds in the attack error for the Tartan Titans. Their fourth here of set number 2. 22-12 now in the second set. Tucito back to serve. Standing about middle of that back line. Tucito across. Dug here near side. Third hit looking for Siedenberg, but a great block at the line. Their second of this set by Tessa Wilkie. Combining, not Tessa Wilkie, excuse me, wrong roster. Malia Miller and Naomi Romslow on the combined block. So 13 serving 22 now. Tucito across. Munter on the dig. Larson looking again. Siedenberg sends it home. Siedenberg the kill for the Tartan Titans. 23 now, serving 13. Brager out. And Matheny back in. Matheny to serve. It's 23-13. Here's where we sit. Matheny in service. Started the 8-point rally for the Titans earlier in this set. Third hit, Romslow tapped across. Dug back the other way, Benslow. Then Munter trying to do it off the hand of the block. Attempt at the line by Miller and Romslow. And set point here for the Titans. Set point number 1 here in set number 2. 24 serving 13. Matheny with the right hand. Tucito for Romslow again, and down. The set extends on a great kill by Romslow. And that'll make it a 10-point set here. We'll have substitutions as number 14, Joanna Jimenez, the senior, will come in to serve. Jimenez across, and too strong, and the service error seals set number 2 for the Tartan Titans as they win this set by a score of 25-14. The Titans led throughout by as many as 12. And after a close early start to the set, the Titans able to take advantage of some nice rallies sparked by the defensive setter, senior number 17, Maureen Matheny. All tied, 1 set apiece here on your home for Titan Volleyball.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. Let 211 be your guiding light for help with food, healthcare, and other resources.
211, how can I help you?
Call 211 or visit 211.org. 211, get connected, get help.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Said I'm fine.
See you in the morning with the frosted Suburban, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it in my head, in my head, in my head. We were underlay in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Bob.
You know you can talk to me.
Yeah.
On December 7, 2005, I was deployed to Baghdad, Iraq. As I was searching for the bomb, the bad guy and the bomb found me first. After the explosion, I was left with a 1% chance of living from the injuries I sustained. During my road to recovery, it was a challenge, mostly trying to figure out what life would be like with my new physical injuries. But throughout that road to recovery, I had a tremendous amount of support from friends and families and the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes. The primary mission of the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is to offer financial emergency assistance to veterans and their families. In most cases, there is a loved one back at home who has to drop everything they're doing to be at that veteran's bedside. And of course, there are huge financial burdens that come along with that. After veterans come through the Coalition's program, they are ready to be back into society, ready to go back to work, and ready to be a leader in their own community.
Visit saluteheroes.org to learn more.
After being outscored almost 2-1 in the second set in 2 games so far this season, the Tartan Titans with a nice 25-14 win in set number 2, tying up this match at a set apiece. Alex Westhead with you here as you see our line score so far this evening. Simley winning the first set 26-24 after leading that set by as many as 9. The Titans able to close it at 24-24 and taking that first set before the Titans, after a little bit of back and forth in the first 5 to 10 points of that first set, the Titans had leads by as many as 12 in set number 2, and that is what allowed them to sail comfortably to a win in that second set. Yeah, one of 156 contests here across the metro area today. Quickly, upcoming contests for these teams. As for the Tartan Titans, they'll have Mounds View, Two Rivers, Stillwater, South St. Paul, and Two Rivers again on their next 5. On the other side for the Simley Spartans, their next 5 at Legacy Christian, Park of Cottage Grove, Hastings, Two Rivers, and the Pioneers of Hill Murray coming up in their next 5. So all tied at 1. Here's the 2 teams will switch back to their beginning sides. The student section in between the second and third sets did a wonderful activity where instead of chucking a ball or some sort of a paper thing into a bucket, instead rubber ducks distributed here at Tartan High School. And the closest rubber duck found themselves winner of a prize. Set number 3 underway. Left side pin. Ooh, beautiful block combined at the line, and the near side pin, Carver and Breaker. And the Titans take the early 1-0 lead. There's one thing that we saw in set number 2. It was the blocking ability of the Tartan Titans that allowed them to gain that advantage, particularly with Munter on that near side of the line, but Breaker and Carver combining for a nice block there. There's Munter herself on the dig. Tapped across by Bennis, kept alive. Second hit. Now the third sent Leakadazily across by Carver. Romslow dug again by the Titans as they look to keep it alive. Third hit here, Benning, and saved across. Beautiful, unique play. Third hit as the Titans will act to reset defensively. Epps tries to knock it over with the closed fist, unable to do so, and a point for the Titans. Again, as that rally continued, looked as though both teams just kind of got out of sorts a little bit, and the Titans beneficiary of that. Wilkie in service. On the dig, go back on the far side there again, Gorder. Romslow. Set by Wilkie, across. Romslow tried to send it down and is able to do so. As went off the hand of Bennis and Breaker at the line. We'll have a substitution. Larson will come back in for Wilkie. As Romslow with another point back. Service again as making another substitution. Champdonso back on for Simley. Alyssa Lucio back as well. And service across. Munter on the dig, blocked at the line. Back on the Simley side. Whistle blows, and we have a point in favor of the Simley Spartans on a violation by Tartan. And so we're all tied up at 2 again. The first couple of minutes or so, the first couple of points have been close back and forth between each of these teams, as of course so many are. But both Simley taking advantage in set number 1, and there's a play that the Titans can take advantage of as Ray Carver sent the ball down. So the Titans retake the lead. So Bennis will go back to serve. Bennis with a 6-point rally in set number 2. And while it was the rally of Morn Matheny that started the Titan lead, it was the rally of Bennis that ultimately put that set away. The near side whistle blows, and a point for the Titans as a double hit is called against Simley. So the Titans lead set number 3, 4-2. Bennis back to serve again. Bennis choosing to go back nor the student section for serving 2. And Epps watches that one go out of bounds. No! As the official on the near side, I thought perhaps it would sail out of bounds in favor of Simley, but no, the officials ruled that the ball had found a home on the inside crease of the line, and the rally continues now for Tartan. Largest lead of this third set. Tartan is led by as many as 12 in a set. And the Spartans have led by as many as 9, and an ace again for Abby Bennis. That'll be the 8th set now, the 8th ace, I should say, for the Tartan Titans. Again, very much unofficially. Bennis in service, 6 serving 2. As the Titans lead set number 3 here by 4. Epps on the attempt, and too strong, an attack error for the Spartans. And the Titans, after falling behind in that first set, have done well to rally. Appear to be the better of teams as of this moment. 7 serving 2. Bennis across, and too strong, out of bounds. Service error by Bennis after a nice rally. A rally of 5 there for Simley. Substitution as Jimenez will re-enter. Epps will depart for the time being. Jimenez across. Off the top of the net, that assists Siedenberg and able to save it. Munter, good dig on the reciprocation there by Gorder as it hangs up into the rafters here at Tartan High School. Rafters are in play. Of course, Larson, Siedenberg, and too strong on that one. A little bit too flat on the hit. And so a attack error for the Titans. And the score now 7-4. Jimenez back to serve, 4 serving 7. Rally of 2 now for Simley. They had a rally by as many as 8 in the opening set. Rallies of 3 and now 2 in set number 2 and 3. Larson back again. Nice play by Carver to keep it alive. Wonderful outstretched reach there. Brager, and in play for the Titans. As the officials at the middle of the net were debating about it before giving that point to the Titans. Brager out, Matheny in. We'll see if another rally comes away of the Titans. Across from Matheny. Dug there. Looking back once more on the third hit, and I think it just went off the hand. That's what the officials rule. Off the hand of Carver. And so the Spartans have pulled it to within 3 on the kill there for Simley. Naomi Romslow back to serve, the 5'11 junior. Romslow across. Kept alive. Looking on the third hit, blocked at the line by Champtanso. Right down at the feet of Munter, and that gives another point for the Spartans as Simley has pulled it to 2. Rally continues for Naomi Romslow. 6 serving 8. Romslow. Big back there by Bennis. Looking once more, and into the net. Whistle blows. Point for the Spartans on 4 hits. Ruled. So rally now of 3. Romslow to serve, 7 serving 8. Titans have led the set by as many as 5. Simley has yet to lead. Aside, Siedenberg sends her home. Siedenberg with a big kill. And a nice job to stop the rally substitutions here. As Carver will come out. Ebach will come back in, as well as Tessa Wilkie for Tartan. And it will be the senior Sydney Ebach to serve. 9 serving 7. Dig there by Studer. DeCito, and down. Nice play by Avery Renslow. And the lead again, 1. Here in this third set for the Tartan Titans. We'll have a whistle that'll blow. Substitution, Donso out. Lucio in. Lucio to serve. Here's we'll have 8 serving 9. Bennis on the dig. Back the other way, Siedenberg, and assisted by a block attempt by the Titans as it went off the hands of the front line defender, Isabella Studer, and a point for the Titans. So Siedenberg to serve, 10 serving 8. Here in set number 3, Simley won set number 1 by a total of 26-24. Tartan won set number 2, 25-14. On the dig. Looking back there, Munter sent across, block at the line, and down, out of bounds. Nice play again by the senior Emma Munter. A combined block attempt at the line by Renslow and DeCito. That went off the side of the hand and gave another point. Here's Siedenberg again, 11 serving 8. Jimenez Back third hit, and not much again, just overran that ball just a little bit, did Avery Renslow. And so the attack error for Simley gives a point back the other way for the Titans. Here in set number 3, where the Titans have taken a 12-8 lead. They've led the set by as many as 5. Their largest lead in the set so far tonight is 12. For Simley, they led set number 1 by as many as 9. They have yet to lead here in set number 3, and they only led once in set number 2 by 2 points. As Tartan High School is site for this one in Metro East play. Both teams did not have a victory in a set coming into play today. And of course, both certainly have those now. Alyssa Wise in her 6th season on your right, on your left, excuse me, and on the right, Mark Kashke in his 16th season on your right, coaching these student athletes here in this season. Of course, the fall sports season well underway. Certainly getting closer, of course, to the winter sports season as well. We'll take a moment to gander upon what our schedule for September and October is when we get the opportunity in which to do so. Rally continues. Siedenberg back to serve for the Tartan Titans. 12 serving 8 here in set number 3. All tied 1 set apiece. Siedenberg across. Jimenez. Back across to Cedar. Reached over there, did Munter. Nice job to play it alive. Off the hand at Tyler Wilkie, and well positioned. And a nice recovery there by Renslow. Save that one. Jimenez out. Epps back in. Service for Simley in the person of Isabella Studer, the 5'8 senior. We'll have 9 serving 12. Studer with her right hand. The cross. Communicated well there by the Titans. On the left side, Matheny finds that back corner. And after a bit of indecision by the corner official, they rule the point for the Titans. So Emma Munter will go back to serve. Matheny out. Brager in, as you saw on your screen. We'll have 13 serving 9. Titans by 4. Tecido. Epps off the hand of Munter. And a point on the kill for the Spartans. He's going back. As we'll have service here from Simley. Into the net, a service error by the Simley Spartans. I do have to apologize to the family of number 1, Michaela Goldschmitz, who's wearing 15. On the roster provided here, Michaela listed as player number 1, yet wearing the number 15. So apologies to the Goldschmitz family. So the 5'4", sophomore. On the third hit there, tried to get shoved across there by Romsel and out of bounds. Rally continues. And a point for the Titans. So to summarize, apologies to the Goldschmitz family. It's the only 15 on the roster. Well, there's 2, Quinn Gorder and Lucia Tran. Serves across, 15 serving 10 now. Looking back left side, blocked at the line. Whistle blows, and it was in the play there on a 4th hit ruled. So play will continue. And a rally once more for the Titans. Largest lead of this 3rd set at 6. Here's Wilkie to serve. Wilkie across. Studer back again and down with the kill. Naomi Ramslow finds the court. Now lead of 5. Substitution again for the Simley Spartans as Donso back in. Lucio out. Reciprocated substitution as Jaden Larson returns in for Tessa Wilkie. 11 serving 16. Munter. Larson. Carver. And down. Carver with the kill. Trying to reach out for that one was Isabella Studer to keep it alive. The 3rd kill now for the Titans here in this set. And the rotation completed. Abby Bennis to serve again. Bennis with the right hand. Nice dig by Goldschmitz. Epps back. Turn dig there by Siedenberg. Carver. Cito. Donso. Carver. And Siedenberg again blocked to the line. Nice play combined there by Donso and Romslow. Epps. Munter. Larson. On the 3rd hit. Back over and another dig by Goldschmitz. Back across, and the play continues, and unable to finish that one off. Ava Siedenberg, just a little bit, not enough on the attempt at the return. So a point for the Spartans on another nice rally by both of these teams. So Jimenez will go back to service. Epps returns to the bench for the time being. Lead for the Titans in set number 3 is 5. On the near side, blocked at the line. Still kept it alive. We'll see what number hit this is. That's fair. That's in play. Goldschmidt's to Cito. Looking again. Ramslow off the hands of Ray Carver. And another point as the Spartans have cut the lead to 4. Jimenez will keep the rally going for the Simley Spartans, tying their largest rally of 3. This might make it 4. It's out of play there, and the third hit is not quite enough. That was a well-aimed serve again by Jimenez. It got the Titans out of position, and there wasn't much to be done about there. We'll have a timeout on the court, taken by Tartan, both sides with 1 timeout apiece, and with the Tartan Titans leading here in this set by a score of 17-14. For joining us late, we're all tied at 1 set apiece. Simley with the 26-24 win in set number 1. They led by as many as 9 at points. The Titans were able to tie it up at 24-24. Simley won the last 2 points to be able to make it 26-24. In the second set, the Titans and the Spartans went back-to-back. 5-5 was the score at 1 point before a rally started by number 17, Morton Matheny, extended the lead to as many as 12, and the Titans were able to cruise to a comfortable win in set number 2. Hello, students. Lovely to see you again. And again, they are certainly bringing the energy there. A young man, of course, saying words to the camera. We do appreciate it. It bears repeating. We've missed students. We've missed that interaction. We've missed the support for the student athletes, for the ones who are around them the most, the students themselves. After the timeout, we'll have 14 serving 17. Both sides with the timeout remaining. Here in set number 3. Jimenez to serve. 14 serving 17. Off the top of the net. Saved by Siedenberg. Larson back again. Siedenberg sends it down off the block. An attempt there by Chomp Donso, the 6'0 senior for the Simley Spartans. And we'll have substitution once more as Matheny will go back in. Brager will return to the bench. And Matheny to serve. Senior defensive setter. 18 serving 14 with the right hand. Jimenez into the rafters, and Donso on the third hit. Won over by Studer. Nice play to keep it alive. Larson for Munter on the third block to the line. Nice play by Naomi Ramslow, and the Titans unable to respond to it as it blocked off the hand, I believe, of Ray Carver. And the service will be delivered here by Ramslow. Goldschmidt's out, and Avery Renslow back in. Ramslow's service is not returned by Bennis. Munter tried to make a reach for it at the last minute, but that'll go down as another ace for the Spartans. Ramslow. Dug by Bennis, trying to reach for it, and into the stands there is Siedenberg. And the Spartans with a nice rally of their own. It's a 1-point set here in set number 3. So a couple of aces delivered here by the junior Ramslow. 17 serving 18. Bennis, Larson on the third hit. Carver into the nets, and an attack error by the Titans, their third of this third set. And we're all tied at 18 points apiece. As again, you look at the coaching staff and the depth players for the Simley Spartans. Service again, Ramslow. Larson looking once more. Carver off the hands of Studer at the line. And a point for the Titans, which stops that rally. And we'll have substitutions again as Carver will go out. Ebach will return for the Simley Spartans. Another substitution as well as Larson is out and Wilkie is back in. So here's Ebach, 19 serving 18. Titans have not trailed in this set, but they have tied a number of times, like right now, where Ebach's service error allows it to be tied at 19. Donso back out, Lucio in for the Simley Spartans. They're all tied at 19. Well, was a best of 5 sets, now a best of 3. Lucio's in service, hit the top of the net and falls in favor of the Simley Spartans, as that just took enough off of it for it to fall in the crease between all of the players on the other side for Tartan, as Simley has their first lead here of set number 3. Lucio across, 20 serving 19, and the lead extends to 2 on the ace. Delivered by Lucio off the hands of Matheny, and that will cause a timeout to be delivered there by the Tartan Titans. They have no timeouts remaining, Simley with 1. So timeout, 21-19. Simley leads here in set number 3. The Titans took a lead on the first point of the second set and led most of the way. A couple of ties along the way as well, but Titans had the lead until after 19-19. Back-to-back points now for Simley has given the Spartans a 2-point lead here in set number 3. After leading set number 1 by as many as 9, Simley has not led a set by more than 2 in set number 2 or set number 3. So timeout taken here, 21-19. Simley leading here in set number 3. While we have a moment, our camera operators this evening. We have Kenny Ronan, Ian Felix, Stephen Adams on cameras here at Tartan High School. In the truck, as always, David Schuyler and Arlen Becker. I'm Alex Westad with you here atop the gymnasium here in Oakdale. Awaiting the serve of the 5'3" senior defensive setter Alyssa Lucio. 21 serving 19. Matheny. Wilkie. Siedenberg, too strong. And a 3-point rally here for the Titans. No, it is a point for the Titans as it went off the hands. The Simley bench reacted as though it was clean, but the rally stopped here, and so Siedenberg will go back to serve. 20 serving 21. Fantastic back and forth match. And the dig, Lucio to Cito. Once more, straight down as Renslow has a go into the net. A point for the Titans, and we're all tied up 21-21. So fifth tie of this third set, 21 serving 21. Siedenberg across, dug by Jimenez. Munter over the top of the net, and the Titans retake the lead. Looked like a good return, and now the Simley Spartans will take their timeout. And will be another timeout with the Tartan Titans leading Simley 22-21 here in set number 3. Off the top of our program tonight, we mentioned that there were changes to the class structure in volleyball in the state of Minnesota. Previously, a 3-class set. But as of the latest meetings at the Minnesota State High School League level, what was 3 has become 4. And the Tartan Titans now playing in the 4A field. As we take a look at the last point here, Siedenberg again on the service. Jimenez put it well, but Munter very strong in the middle of the field, able to find its way home once again and give the Titans a lead here in set number 3. Tartan has led this set by as many as 6, Simley by as many as 2. 5 ties. There's 3 lead changes, excuse me. And service again. As a sophomore on your screen, Ava Siedenberg will serve 22-21. Once the horn sounds. And here we go. Siedenberg 22-21. Lucio, Tacito, and Renslow off of the pin, and a point for the Titans. So the lead back to 2 for Tartan, 23-21. Siedenberg back to serve. Siedenberg. Combined there by Goldschmitz and Lucio. And another beautiful block at the line. And a combined block by Bennis and Munter. And here we are again. Set point for the Titans. So Siedenberg to serve, 24-21. Lucio. In the air, Studer on the service across off the hand of Matheny. And I think she recognized she didn't necessarily need to do that. So a point for the Spartans. There, Epps returns. Jimenez out. Isabella Studer, 22 serving 24. This is where the Titans were able to rally to tie at 24 in set number 1. Can the Spartans do the same? Across there, Studer on the dig. Hits off of one of the stanchions up top and down by Epps for the kill. As that's the third kill now, again unofficially, of the third set. Epps with it. 23 serving 24. Studer across. Ebach. Larson. Munter. No. Goldschmitz. Epps. Back on the far side. The Titans will look to respond here once again. Bennis. No. Goldschmitz on the dig. DeCito in the middle of the field. Epps back over. Did not need to go out there, and the Titans keep it alive there briefly. Bennis. Studer. DeCito. Epps. Back across. Nice call by Matheny to call for. Wilkie. Back again. Bennis too strong, and we're tied at 24. Earlier in that rally, you saw the student section react as though the ball did not necessarily need to have been touched by the Titans on the return. Ultimately, didn't matter on that set because it was the next service thereafter. All tied at 24. Across into the net, attack error. And the Spartans take a 1-point lead here, 25-24. So Studer on a 3-point rally for Simley. Here's set point for Simley. Studer across. Siedenberg. Munter across. Nice play on the kill. Munter with the tip of the fingers ties it at 25. Substitution. As Brager will come back in, Matheny will leave. And Emma Munter to serve. All tied at 25. First to gain a lead by 2, wins set number 3. Munter across. Studer on the dig. And Renslow. DeCito on the third hit off the top of the net. Nice play by Brager to keep it alive. DeCito once again. Epps too strong, and a 26-25 lead for the Titans. Set point number 5. Munter will go back to it. Students making some noise on the far side. Emma Munter in service, 26-25. Lucio, Studer, and Goldschmitz combine. Epps on the third hit sends it back over. Near side pin, set Larson. Back again, Bennis. Returns it, Lucio. DeCito, back over Renslow. Net is touched, and point for Simley. We're tied at 26. So 26-26, Michaela Goldschmitz, the 5'4" defensive setter, listed at number 1 on the roster for the Spartans, but wearing 15 as a libero. Siedenberg, Larson, Bennis, back, dug by Goldschmidt there. Epps, across, down, found a seam there, and Epps does a great job. You saw how the Titans shifted back because they know the power of Epps, whether intentional or not. A good adjustment by Adriana Epps, the 5'10" senior, to adjust and find that near side seam. Another set point, 27 serving 26. On the third hit there. Siedenberg over the top, and the Spartans win set number 3 by a total of 28-26. Well, and what we saw there was what we saw in the first set, where the Titans were able to tie it at 24. But Simley still picked up the win there. In set number 3, the Spartans were able to tie it at 24 before a great back and forth in those final points. And the Spartans able to take victory in set number 3. 2-1, Simley Spartan leads in sets. We'll be back for the start of the 4th in just a few moments on your home.
What's more dangerous? A man who isn't afraid of death, or one who's found everything to live for? I asked him if he was proud of me. He emphatically said yes, as he laid his pecan-colored head on my chest, and I went through my mind 1,000 times to figure out what that could possibly mean, and every single example ended in motivation for me. So you may not be afraid to die, but I'm more afraid to let them down. And I found something to live for, which is a dangerous motive forever fueled. See, your thoughts may be involuntary, but my actions are very calculated. I was a man with a plan, but now I'm a dad with a decree, and you can't take that from me. My sons ain't raised by no coward, and they won't be one either. If this be the measure of a man, the yardstick gonna need way more meters. I take it too far, so they never come up short, because I found everything to live for.
Do or die time for the Titans after the Simley Spartans took set number 3, 28-26. But with the party the students are having, certainly wouldn't know it. Having a great time over there. You see our line score 26-24 in the first set in favor of the Spartans, 25-14 in the second in favor of the Tartan Titans, 28-26. A nice rally at the end for Simley, as that's how we've gotten to our score. And you see the officials. We're always thankful for the officials. If you're interested in becoming official at the Major League, not the Major League, the Minnesota State High School League level, you can certainly do so by going to mshsl.org. And we're always thankful for our refs. Certainly would love to see you become one as well. Just getting the final folks ready to go. This is the first time uncharted territory for both teams this year, as neither Simley nor Tartan has advanced to a fourth set so far this season. So we'll start with service for the Simley Spartans, and it will be the person of Michaela Goldschmitz, a 5'4" sophomore. Tartan has led in sets by as many as 12. Simley has led in sets by as many as 9. Set number 4 begins now. Goldschmidt, Bennis, Larson on the near side. Pin knocked over and found the seam off the right side arm of Ray Carver. And just as they did in set number 2 and number 3, Tartan takes an early 1-0 lead. So back to serve, Abby Bennis, the sophomore. On to the game. Nice rally started by Bennis a couple of times tonight by as many as 6-point rallies. Goldschmidt's on the save. Back the other way, tipped over. Nice dig back the other way again by Larson. Third hit now. Siedenberg sends it over. Goldschmidt's near side. Epps blocked at the line. And a point for the Titans off of Ray Carver. A good adjustment there made by the Titans. They now lead 2-0. Bennis across. Studer. Romslow, no. Can be held in here again by Munter. Left side, nice play, Siedenberg, and the whistle blows, and a net violation called against the Simley Spartans by Naomi Romslow, and the rally continues to start this set here by the Tartan Titans. A story of that third set. Tartan jumping out to a lead by as many as 6, but resiliency by the Simley Spartans as they were able to tie the 24. Service error there delivered by Bennis. That'll stop the rally. 3 serving 1. Now will be 1 serving 3 back the other way. Donso back in replacing Lucio. And it'll be Tassito to serve back the other way. 1 serving 3. Munter. Larson. Back the other way and down. Another point on the kill by Siedenberg. And it's 4 serving 1. Another substitution there as Brager will sub out. And Matheny will come back in. But the Spartans able to tie the set at 24. Then some wonderful, fantastic back and forth between the two teams after it was tied at 24, where Simley was able to pick up the win 28-26 in set number 3 and take this 2-1 sets lead. Too strong, too far, and this attack error that's delivered there by Renslow goes out. And so we'll have 5 serving 1 now. Matheny to serve. Lead is 4. Here's Matheny. Goldschmidt's. Cito. Renslow. And back the other way. Larson. Far side pin for Carver. And out of bounds clean. And the point for the Spartans. It'll make it 2-5. Epps out. And Jimenez back in. As we've seen multiple times tonight, when it is that spot to serve, Jimenez is the one who comes in to serve for Epps. 2 serving 5. Jimenez across. Matheny on the dig and right into the side of the bleachers. So that'll be an ace for the Simley Spartans. Their first year of the set. Unofficially, I have them at 8 aces so far. 3 serving 5. Return better that time. Munter. Off of her hands, blocked at the line by Chum Danso for the Simley Spartans, and a point for the Spartans. Jimenez to serve and continue to play. 4 serving 5 now. Jimenez stands in the middle of the court, awaits the whistle, and here we go. Jimenez across, 4 serving 5. Dug by Bennis. Larson looking to set near side pin for Siedenberg off the hands of Danso, and a point for the Titans. A nice play there. Ebach back in, Wilkie back in as well. Larson and On the near side, Ray Carver back out. Here's Sydney Ebach, the senior, to serve. As we'll have 6 serving 4. Simley leading 2-1. Goldschmidt's high into the air. Tecito able to save it. Sent back by Jimenez. Wilkie looking near side. Pin Siedenberg, and a combined block. Unsuccessful for the Spartans. As the point will go to Siedenberg, and Ebach will go back to serve. 7 serving 4 now. Titans have led by as many as 4, and as we saw in the third set, Simley did not lead until late, but that's sometimes enough for victory. As a service error there by Ebach will give possession back. Goldschmidt's will go out. Simley will send Avery Renslow back in, and Naomi Romslow will serve, the 5'11 junior. On the third hit, Ebach into the net. And that'll make it a 6-7 service now. There's one thing to be said about the Simley Spartan roster, and there's no way to really explain it. You have a lot of players that names end in that O sound. Back across, third hit, Munter. Munter down off of Donso and out of play, and a point for the Titans. If we look at that Simley roster, you have Naomi Romslow, Avery Renslow, Lauren Tecito, Chomp Donso, and Alyssa Lucio, all with that same O ending sound. It's quite difficult for a broadcaster. 8 serving 6. And Louise Siedenberg to serve across. Dug there by Studer, back across. Munter sends her down. And a nice play at the line and at the net by Munter. We'll have 9 serving 6 now. We'll have a brief stoppage as more Matheny ties a shoe. Play can continue. Siedenberg, 9 serving 6. Studer on the dig. Tecito, back for Studer again. Nice block. Combined to the line there by Wilkie and Munter. Donso, third hit, and just caressed the top of the net. On the third hit there, whistle blows. Whistle is in favor of a double hit. And an illegal hit there by the Titans. So a point for Simley. This will be 7 serving 9. Alyssa Lucio back in, the 5'3 senior. To serve here for Tartan. 7 serving 9. Matheny. Wilkie looking again. Power from Bennis. Spot too much. And a point back the other way for Simley. So a good set up there by the Spartans, but just too much power by the sophomore Abby Bennis. So the rally continues here for Simley. Lucio, 8 serving 9. Matheny, Wilkie, back across there, Ebach. Lucio, Tecito, Studer, blocked at the line again by Munter and Wilkie. Jimenez sends it back across, Matheny. Looking back again, Munter, and no contact is ruled. And so with that, we're all tied up at 9. Titans were looking for contact at the net, unable to find it. We're all tied at 9. It's the first time tied since 0-0. Lucio across. Ebach on the third hit, Matheny. Goldschmidt's on the dig. Back the other way, set back over, and Renslow gets the point for the Spartans. Their first lead here in set number 4 as they lead now 10-9. So Lucio again to serve, 10 serving 9. After the Titans led by as many as 4, Simley now leads by 1. Matheny just not enough on it. And that'll be an ace in favor of the Simley Spartans. Their second here of set number 4. We will have a whistle. We will have a stoppage. We will have a timeout. With Simley leading here in set number 4, 11-9. Our upcoming schedule for Suburban Community Channels will be back in action coming up on Monday. A doubleheader of boys and girls soccer over at White Bear Stadium between the Bears and the Eastridge. Intriguing abound in that girls contest, as well as the semifinals in Section 4 have gone through White Bear Lake and Eastridge each of the past 2 seasons. Football week from Friday, White Bear Lake and Mounds View. Volleyball again, as the Bears and the Zephyrs from White Bear Stadium. They'll have football for you as the Tartan Titans will take on the Matamidi Zephyrs on the 24th of September. And of course, for all information and all of our games, of course, are streamed live on SEC Channel 19, as well as live and for free on youtube.com/Suburban Community Channels. If you're looking to find us on social media, you can do so in a number of different ways: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. Facebook.com/SECTV. Twitter.com/SCCTV Sports. That's our handle, as well as Instagram on YouTube. Timeout expired. The rally continues here for the Spartans. They have rallied for 4 consecutive points. The largest rally of the game is 6 in favor of Spartans. And a point for the Tartans there on the error on the service. So Munter to serve. Now 10 serving 9. Substitution. Once more as Brager is in, Matheny is out. 10 serving 11. Too strong on the service there by Munter, so service error is called. And the lead back again to the Spartans is 2. Epps out, or Epps in, Jimenez out. And going back to serve, the 5'8" senior Isabella Studer in service. Dug by Bennis. Back again, Brager was not able to find a hand, and so a point in favor of the Simley Spartans. 13-10. Studer to serve. Simley leads by 3. Since that first set, the Spartans led by 9 in that first set, and now lead by 4 here in this one, as they could not quite find that one here. And another point for the Titans, or for the Spartans, as the rally continues. After leading in the first set by as many as 9, before now, Simley had not been led by more than 3. Now leading by 4. Tipped across, play kept alive, and the lead back to 3 for Simley. As a point for the Titans will make it 11 serving 14 coming up. Whistle will blow for a substitution. Larson subbing out for Wilkie. And we'll have 11 serving 14. Jaden Larson, the sophomore who started the rotation for the Tartan Titans today. We'll go back and do it again here. Lucio to Cito. Once again for Renslow. Nice dig there by Larson. On the near side, Seatonberg sent it up nicely for Bennis, but returned here by the Spartans and found a corner. Not intentional by any means by Adriana Epps, but just enough to find that back corner and give the Spartans another point and another 4-point lead. These two teams will not face off each other again this year, so 2022, the next time that the Simley Spartans and the Tartan Titans will take place. Again, a little too strong there on that hit by Bennis, and another point for Simley as they now lead by 5. And again, no playoff meetings. Simley in Class 3A, Tartan in now Class 4A. On the near side, Carver a little bit too strong there. And the wheels falling off the bus just a little bit here for the Tartan Titans as they led in this set by as many as 4, now trailing by 6 at 17-11. Simley's number 15, Michaela Goldschmidt's in service. Dug there by Munter, kept alive Brager off the top of the line. And Bennis sends it right into the net on the attack error, and another point for the Spartans. Whistle will blow. Timeout on the floor as the Titans have taken both of their timeouts. And we'll have a timeout here with 18 serving 11. We'll run down the schedules remaining for each of these two teams following tonight's contest for the Tartan Titans as they look forward to, and one of the stats that we mentioned too, we'll get to their home record just a little bit here. But at Moundsview, at Two Rivers, then Stillwater, South St. Paul, Two Rivers here at home, at North St. Paul, and what's always a very hotly contested 6-2 rivalry. Then home to Spring Lake Park, Mahtomedi, St. Paul Central, Hastings, and at Hill Murray to conclude the regular season for these Tartan Titans. The record a year ago for Tartan at home, 3-2. So dating back to the beginning of the 2020 season, if this result holds, Tartan 500 at home. And no matter what level, no matter what sport, you have to be higher than 500 at home to have a chance of having a promising season. So out of the timeout, we'll get to the Simley schedule next chance that we get to. Michaela Goldschmidt's 5'4" sophomore in service, 18 serving 11. Goldschmidt's across. Dug there by Munter. Carver on the third hit, sent across. Lucio to Cito. Knocked down, kept alive here by the Titans. Sent back over into the net, and another attack error. Delivered. And a point for the Spartans. Goldschmidt's will continue to serve. Spartans by 8, 19-11. On the dig, Larson set back again. Nice play by Studer to keep that one alive. Tocito back across. Boom! Big shot there by Naomi Renslow to find that back corner, and we have us a 20-11 lead for the Simley Spartans, tying Simley's largest lead in the set of the night. We'll have a substitution here, as Bennis will go out. Number 10, Kendall Buffalo, will come in. Goldschmidt's in service. Munter, Brager, and into the net on that attempt there by Emma Munter. And kind of a broken play there for the Titans, as Simley now leads this fourth set by 10. 21 serving 11. Here in set number 4. On the dig. Once more, third hit, Munter. Munter too strong, out of bounds. And an 11-point lead now for the Spartans. And then again, this just might be a case, as Munter is out, Ebach is in. This may be a case of it's running out of steam, things running away from the Titans. The better of the teams in set 2 and 3 before faltering late in set number 3, and a rally here continues now. 12 points for Simley, and the largest rally of the night for either team, a rally of 15 now for the Simley Spartans. Across, Siedenberg. Now Brager, and then on the third hit, Carver. Tocito, Renslow sends it down. Nice dig there by Larson. Siedenberg, once more, Carver, and nice recovery there by Studer. Epps blocked the line, but out of bounds, and the rally continues here for the Spartans, and this will be match point coming up. So after leading the set here 11-8, this could be it for the Titans. Siedenberg back across right side. Larson blocked the line by Epps. Whistle blows. Net violation called, and a point for the Titans to stop that rally. That'll make it 12-24. So if a rally's to happen here, it'll be Sydney Ebach at first. No. As it'll be Kendall Buffalo, the sophomore, wearing number 10 to serve. We have a conversation here with the head official. Now service, as they had to make sure that the Tartan rotation was ready. Buffalo to serve. 12 serving 24. Lucio, Tocito, looking back again. Third hit for Studer. Dug there by Ebach. Larson, near side, Siedenberg. Studer, back again. Third hit, Renslow. Nice play by Larson to keep it alive. Tocito, Goldschmidt, Epps to win it, and down, and no, still kept alive. I thought for sure that it hit the turf. Back away again, blocked at the line, still good. Studer on the third hit. Brager, left side here, Siedenberg, too strong, and the Spartans come away with victory number 1 on the season, as that last attempt by the Spartans just a little too strong on it. And that'll be victory for the Spartans in set number 4, and they'll walk away with a 3-1 victory here tonight. Again, in set number 4, the Titans led by 4 before a 15-point rally by the Simley Spartans to make it 24-11. Ended up being the difference in set number 4. And really, that's how they took away. Titans looked better in set number 2 and number 3. But once Simley had tied it up at 24 apiece in that third set, ultimately that ended up being the difference, not just in set 3, but in the game, as the Spartans were able to ride that rally into the final 4th set. And that's all she wrote here from Oakdale on this beautiful Thursday evening. Once again, our camera crew this evening: Stephen Adams down on the court. Up top with me is Ian Felix and Kenny Ronan. Again, we're always grateful for our camera operators here to make sure that not only does your student athletes and their efforts look wonderful, but also to make us look wonderful as well. I'm Alex Westhead up here all by myself, and of course David Schuyler and Arlen Becker in the truck. The final score tonight from Tartan High School in Oakdale, Minnesota. The Simley Spartans victorious by a score of 3-1. You're on your home for Tartan Titan Volleyball.